So, welcome everybody. I think this is probably, did we start having public Sunday feasts at Gorpanim or prior? I don't remember, but Gorpanim, okay. So, wonderful to be back in physical proximity. Zoom is wonderful. It's been a blessing, but I've missed everybody. So, it's wonderful to see everybody face to face. So, we're going to, this is the first of 3 Sunday feast lectures dedicated to the pastime of Ramachandra. So I selected a verse from the 9th canto, 10th chapter, which gives a nice overview of the entire Ramayana. So if one does not have time to read the very volumes of Ramayana, of Valmiki, or even the Ramcharitamanas, right, of Tulsidas, this one chapter is very readable. And it has Prabhupada's purports, so I always recommend whenever it comes to time of year when we're celebrating Ram's appearance or Diwali, this is a chapter I always read, and never. Purana means that it's eternal and is always fresh. So this Ram Lila is always fresh. So because we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll chant Jai Radha Madhava, Adela Hare Krishna. Then we'll cover tonight's verse and we'll speak a little bit about the subject of this evening. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya. Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devam Saraswatam Vyasam. Tato Jayam Udiraye. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Gyananjana Savakaya Chakshurvandalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Kadamaya Kadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamanam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajantam Sahagana Raghunatam Tam Jivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Vaitana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Radha Sahagana Aditya Shri Vishikam Pitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namostite Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabandhu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Panchakalpatrubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. We're going to read a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam on the 9th canto, chapter 5, verse 54. This is a wonderful chapter describes the overview, very nice overview of Brahmi sometimes. Ekapati Pratadaro Rajarishi Charita Suchi Swadharmam Griha Mediyam Shikshayan Swayam Acharya Word to word. Ekapati Pratadara taking a vow not to accept the second wife or to have any connection with any other woman.
Taking a vow not to accept a second wife or to have any connection with any other woman.
Rajarishi,
Like a
saintly king.
king.
Charita, whose character. Shuchi, pure. Swadharma, one's own occupational duty. Griha Media, especially a person situated in household life.
Especially a person situated in household life.
Shikshaya,
Shikshaya,
teaching
teaching
by personal behavior.
by personal behavior.
Swayam,
Swayam,
personal.
personally.
Acharya,
Achara,
executed his duty.
executed his duty.
Translation. And prayer by this divine grace should all our should have been the Swami.
Jai.
Ramchandra took a vow to accept only one one and to have no connection with any other one. He was a saint, and everything in his character was good, untinged by qualities like pain. He taught good behavior for everything, especially for householders, in terms of Varn Ashram. Thus, he taught the general public by his personal activities. Purport. Ekapati Vrat, accepting only one wife, was the glorious example set by Lord Ramchandra. One should not accept more than one. In those days, of course, people did not marry more than one. Even Lord Ramchandra's father accepted more wives than one. But Lord Ramchandra was, as an ideal king, accepted only one, Mother Sita. When Mother Sita was kidnapped by Ravana and the Rakshasas, Lord Ramchandra, as the supreme personality of God, could have married hundreds of thousands of Sitas. But to teach us how faithful he was to his wife, he fought with Ravana and finally killed him. The Lord punished Ravana and rescued his wife to instruct him to only have one. Ramchandra accepted only one wife and manifested sublime character, thus setting an example for householders. A householder should live according to the ideal of Lord Ramchandra. He showed how to be a perfect person. Being a householder or living with a wife and children is never condemned, provided one lives according to the regulated principles of Varnashram Dharma. Those who live in accordance with these principles, whether as householders, brahmacharis, or vanaprashnas, are all equally So I read the verse again. Speak a little bit on this wonderful verse. Ekapatni Vrajadaro Kajarishi Charita Shuchi Swadharma Griha Mediham Shikshayam Swayam Acharya. Lord Ramchandra took a vow to accept only one and to have no connection with any other one. He was a saintly king, and everything in his character was good, untinged by qualities like him. He taught good behavior for everyone, and especially for householders, in terms of Varn Ashram Dharma. Thus, he taught the general public by his personal activity. So, of course, the topic for my talk tonight is about the connection, the continuum between Lila, Krishna Lila, and Chaitanya Lila. Because we know ultimately, in terms of tattva, that all incarnations are really one single person. Yada 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 Chaitanya Navachitana. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that whenever there's a decline of religion, the rise of pure religion, I will descend and reestablish righteousness. So to do away with adharmic elements and to reestablish dharma is the role the person takes time and over and over. And all of Srimad Bhagavatam are all these wonderful pastimes that Krishna has in different. Whether the earth is actually out of balance, let's say at the beginning of creation, or like Hiranyaksha was stealing the gold, he appeared as Brahma twice to recover the earth with much waters and to establish her in a provident way. So when things get a little bit wobbly, the Lord descends. But also the Lord descends to this world for his own purposes. Lord Lord Krishna is Bhakti Rasa, is the ocean of transcendental knowledge. And we know that Rasa, transcendental knowledge, include Lila, which means ferocious. Also includes Maluna, compassion. But in the spiritual realm, and in Vaikuntha, there is no danger. There's no lamentation. That's the definition of Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is a place where there's no lamentation. There's no fear. There's nothing to be feared. Everybody is, the baseline emotion, like the lowest you'll get, is that you'll feel peaceful. But if you're happy, but mostly they're happy in service, they're happy either glorifying the Lord or in something reciprocal. So where can the Lord demonstrate his growth quality? There's nobody to fight with. Everybody loves him. There's nobody to console and uplift because everybody is happy. So those qualities Krishna can manifest here in this world. So when he descends, he shows off his roses, his compassion. And the compassion is always due to the restoration from nature. So when Lord Ram descended and he was Mayad Krishna. Mayad means rules and regulations, following the rules and regulations. He was Purushottam, right? The supreme person. Purushottam also means supreme enjoyment. So in this role of Ram, as the ideal king, judging, protecting his citizens, fighting against the demoniac elements. This was a source of greatness. He was able to experience this quality, I think, the ideal by his character. And also as a household, as Shyamarup is commenting here on the verse, that he is Ekam Patni, right? He accepted only one. Now, when Sita was kidnapped, right, at any point, he could have accepted other wives, right? This was acceptable for Kshatriyas. His father did so. This was the culture of that time. Women needed protecting. Kings were able to, they were able to support. But because people sometimes will follow the example on the surface, but not understand the principle, they sometimes will take advantage of these for their own sense of adar. So many things to look at the wrong example, except the one of life. I just so this this example of Ram, and even after when they came back to Lanka, we all know the past. So I don't think I'm the whole remind half an hour. But after they returned to Lanka, of course, it was revealed to Ram that maybe some of the less intelligent sectors of society did not understand his acceptance. Even though he had proven and arranged for her to prove her chastity, her purity, by entering into the fire and coming out unscathed. So he did, of course, that pastime was for him to glorify Sita, for her to reveal, yes, even though she was in the home of Ravan, the demon, who was very less. Of course, we know Sita is Padasha. Right? She is Ula Bhakti. She is Lakshmi. She is the supreme goddess looking around her. She's Jagadam, right? She is the mother of the universe. She is, but she was enacting this beautiful pastime where she was wanting Ram to rescue. She could have escaped from her. With one glance, she considered the entire universe. What to speak of Lanka, what to speak of Ram. But she said, the only reason why I don't consider you, oh Ravana, you rascal, is because I want to see Ram rescued. Even when Hanuman came to Lanka to bring a message from Ram, he said, I can take it. She goes, no, I want to see my. So even though some less intelligent persons in the society did not understand, and he had to send Sita to the mountains. So, because he had sent her away, in order to enact justice as a judge, he needed a wife. So the minister said, well, we had to send Sita away. You can accept another one. Not possible. He said it's not possible. Yeah. So every time there was a ceremony, he constructed a beautiful mercy of Sita. And he worshipped, of course, and that was stood for Sita. Of course, you do a kind of petition. Mary's the soul entry. And it's described that these personalities wanted actually to be the wives of Rama, not just to be a statue for a ceremony and then they go away. So then they also again entered Krishna's house. So again, and also when they were in exile, one of the places they went to was this forest called Dandaka Aranya. And in this forest of Dandaka Aranya, there were sages performing great austerities at a very high level of realization. And Srila Prabhupada describes this in the Krishna. And this pastime is found in the Bhagavad Gita, where they beheld this beautiful form of Rama. And immediately, Gopi Bhav, so love that the conqueror groups had for Krishna, manifested in them. And they were bewildered, and they were embarrassed, and they didn't know what to do. So they just remained silent, stunned. They beheld a beautiful form. But Ram, he is Sarvaki. He knows everything. He said, in this life, you don't have a suitable body to enact this pastime. And I am Ekapatni. I am Mayad Purushaki. I am the supreme person of holding righteousness. So therefore, when he again as Krishna, as the son of Devaki, as the son of Yashoda in Vrindavan, these same sages appear as gopis. There are different categories of gopis, but basically two categories are Nityasiddha and Sadhanasiddha. Nityasiddha means the eternally liberated personalities who are there in the spiritual realm, engaged in Krishna's Lila, descending to help them enact the pastime. It's described that Krishna is always appearing in one universe or the other. So, come on. So those are the Nityasiddha gopis. And the Sadhanasiddha gopis are those personalities who were once conditioned in this material realm, but because they had taken to the process of bhakti yoga and achieved the highest perfection of bhakti yoga, they were eligible to take birth in Krishna's name. So Krishna, of course, we know that when he came of age, left Vrindavan, went to Mathura and defeated Kamsa and established his kingdom in Dwarka. He was also Maya Purushaki. His pastimes of that later stage of his life, say like age 12, to the very end, was also one of the same principle of Maya Purushaki. But his pastimes as a baby and as a youth, in his childhood in Vrindavan, is known as Lila Purushaki. What's the distinction? Because Ram Lila is also very relishing. But Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan is so sweet. And there are three features I wanted to talk about with Ram, Krishna, Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya. That there is Ashraya, the majesty. Bhagavan Sri Krishna Bhagavan has 6 qualities of fame, beauty, strength, wealth, knowledge, renunciation. These are qualities that exhibit the Lord's opulence. But many of these qualities, except for one, do not engender intimacy, sweetness. Like we have a very close friend, common. You could just reveal your heart. So there's an open heartedness that comes with the virtue, the quality of sweetness. So this quality of sweetness, the Lord normally does not reveal. Only once in a day of Brahma does Krishna reveal in the universe this feature of Manjari, of special unprecedented beauty. And that was Krishna's pastimes 5,000 years ago. Normally when Krishna appears during the Dwapara Yuga, it's Vasudeva Krishna. He's a righteous king, much like them. And the process of deity worship is established during that. But sugar cannot taste itself. Right? We can look in the mirror, but how do we, the way we see ourselves is a little bit different the way others see us. Right? So Krishna, even when he sees himself, cannot appreciate the beauty the way Srimati Radharani does, the way the gopis do. But even Mother Yashoda, these moods that his devotees have are more intense than what he experiences being object. He's the Vishaya, they're the So Mahaprabhu appeared 500 years ago, not only to establish the Yuga Dharma, Prema Rasa Vyas. Right? Krishnadas Kaviraj explains in the Chaitanya that Mahaprabhu Chaitanya appeared to experience that quality, that mood, that sweetness that Krishna experienced 5,000 years ago. And Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago in Vrindavan to fulfill the promise that he made as Ramchandra. So we see this continuum of his past. It's really one aspect, but different chapters, different incarnations. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known as Prem Purusha. Purushottama again means Purusha means personality. It also means enjoyer. So Purushottama means not it's only the supreme personification. It's also the supreme enjoyer of the Prem. That his self-conception, he is Krishna, fully Krishna, the same level of time as Krishna is the source of all incarnations. However, because he wants to experience this rest, because he wants to experience this mood, he appears at Chaitanya in the mood of his devotee. So sometimes he'll reveal his divinity. Like when he defeated Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in Delhi. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a great scholar in Veda. All those sannyasis of the order of Shankaracharya went to him to study. Great Acharya, great August, great professor we have here in Boston. And he was very kind to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu appears in Jagannath Puri. He took a very fatherly affection nature to Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya. And he thought, this is a young sannyasi. He's very handsome, but he's so young, he's so inexperienced. And unless he learns Vedanta Sutra, we don't know the last. Because Vedanta Sutra means you have from knowledge, means a fixed detachment. Knowledge and detachment come in. Like if you're feeling some pain, right? This is a trick somebody told me. You know, if you go to the dentist and they say, I want you to tell me on a scale of 1 to 5 how much it hurts. Like 1 is maybe a little bit painful, 10 is unbearable, 5 is unbearable, right? Look at, so if they're working on your mouth and your teeth, they're not looking at your hand. They're not paying any attention to it. They're gonna do what they need to do to fix your teeth. But they want you to analyze your pain. So that even if it's unbearable and you're going like this, you know that at least if you can look at it and understand it, it's not so bad. So Vedanta has like that. For those who have materially attached, if they learn Shankya philosophy, they learn Vedanta. So he was teaching trying to teach this young sannyasi something about Vedanta. And he spoke for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, a whole week. Every day he's giving teachings on Vedanta Sutra. And the whole time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was silent. And he said, I don't know if you understood anything. This whole week I've been speaking and you've not said a word. Do you understand what I've been teaching? And Sri Chaitanya said, yes, I understand Vedanta, but I don't understand your explanation. It's all filled with mind, all impersonal conceptions. God is a boy, God is just merging into the oneness. And so then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, okay, you explain. And so he gave this explanation, which not only surpassed Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, but completely defeated his conception. And afterwards, Mahaprabhu then spoke on the Apam verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, the first canto, Apam Srimad, and gave 64 explanations on this one verse, completely devastating Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Because in culture, in Indian culture at that time, maybe today it's still the same way, debate was something fierce. It was like war. It's like two master chess players. Right? It's like that. And if you're defeated, all your disciples become a disciple of the person who defeated you. You lose there. It's a very much win all, lose all proposition. So he was devastated. And Mahaprabhu revealed to him his 6 arms. First, as 2 arms of Krishna holding a flute, then 2 hands holding a bow and arrow, and then 2 hands holding a danda water pot as a sannyasi. As Mahaprabhu. So all 3 personalities he revealed to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So how can we say that these are separate personalities? He's revealing to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that he is not different. He is not different. And in each of these personalities, these 3 qualities of Aishwarya, of majesty, of Madhurya, of sweetness, and Ardharya, magnanimity. This is the other quality I wanted to speak. Because the Lord is not only so righteous, and sometimes around Lila he can appear to be a little bit harsh, cutting off the nose of Shyamarup, sending away Sita Devi. Maybe a little bit challenging to understand how some sort of righteous, but it's all compassion is also there. Also content also. And Krishna also, he defeats all these demons. Right? But Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Namo Mahavadaya, Krishna Prema Vadaya, Krishna Krishna Chaitanya, Name Gauri Krishna. This is the prayer that Sanatana Goswami composed spontaneously upon seeing Mahaprabhu in Maya. They had met once before Ramkali, very briefly, but he was able to break away from his constraints of his occupation and was able to come have darshan, which goes to the Lord. Sri Chaitanya is not different. He has a golden complexion, as Krishna is blackish. And he is Namo Mahavada. He's the most magnanimous. Because Ramchandra, as we stated earlier, was not able to fully reciprocate with the sages of Dandaka. By seeing him, his mood of Bhaktiva, his mood of Madhurya manifests in his heart, but because he is Mayad Purushottama, and he's Ekapatma, not accept. But he said, in the next life, I will reciprocate. And they took birth as gopis. Krishna had beautiful pastime. But in order to achieve this qualification, you have to be so qualified. You have to go through so much austerity. Like if you want to buy a nice Porsche or a Mercedes, you have to have a lot of money. To not only purchase a car, but to also maintain it. But who's giving, imagine something around the street with a whole truck full of Mercedes. And just say, here, take, here's the key. I'll cover it. Oh, you can't maintain it? Here, I'll give you the money to maintain it. Who is such a person, right? When I was younger, there was a chain store called Crazy Eighties. And the advertisements, he's just like giving away stereo equipment. Like Crazy Eighties, he's giving it all away. So this beautiful gift, this extremely rare gift that only is revealed once in a day of the life. Once in a day, days and days and trillions of years, they pass. It's very, very good. It's really good. It said that even those who not only heard the teachings of Chaitanya, not only those who heard their character of Chaitanya, but even those who saw the person of Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, immediately Krishna prema, love of God manifests in the heart of both. And it said that those people, if they went back to the village, those who saw them and interacted with them and heard their kirtan, they also became pure devotees of Krishna. And people who then heard and saw those people also. So this is how free and how powerful of force that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Again, Madhurya, sweetness, Aishwarya, majesty, Agaya, all these are fully present in each of these three personalities. Ramchandra is fully magnanimous and so sweet, but the quality of Aishwarya is what he exhibited. And Krishna, in his Leelas, in his Raj Leela, all opulence was there. In fact, much more opulence was there than it's even found in Vaikuntha. But sweetness was so prominent, like in a cake. You may have some salt, you make a cake, but you put much more sugar. Therefore, the sweetness predominates. So in Krishna's Leela, the sweetness predominates. Magnanimity is also there, but it's not as manifest. It's in the background. The sweetness is what's being used. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all opulence is there. It's described that the entire spiritual realm. We were reading earlier that in the place of Bodhrumatu, right, which is one of the 9 islands of Vrindavan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes that in their pastimes, Ram, Ramchandra, Sita, Lakshmana, during their exile, also went to this place, and there he also revealed his later pastimes. He described to Sita Janaki his pastimes. So Mahaprabhu, he's making this so available. And the other aspect we wanted to take these last 10 minutes of my talks tonight to speak a little bit about the quality of prayer, of how 2 features of prayer, like meaning and separation. And sometimes it may be difficult for us to understand why Ram sent Sita. But in this this he actually describes that when Ram, Sita, Hanuman, so forth, but particularly Ram and Sita were in Modri, that he revealed to Sita Devi. He said, not only the past what will happen when they come out of exile, but how also he'll appear again as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and take some minutes. So I'm not going to go too much into that subject matter. It's very confidential. But know that Ram gave indication. Krishna revealed fully his quality of separation at the same. He left Vrindavan. He submerged, like just drowned in full ecstasy and separation. Because a devotee only desires to be with Krishna, to serve Krishna. Nobody desires separation. But it's actually out of his mood, compassion, and mercy that he actually immerses, creates these pastimes where there is separation. Because the separation intensifies the meeting. Absence makes the heart go fonder. Right? This is the same here. And it's true. If somebody you haven't seen a friend in a long time, and they're a dear friend, and you see each other again, you just like. I remember I was a little boy. I was the youngest of 4 children, and there was like a 10 and 12-year difference between my older sisters. And when my older sisters would come home, we'd be so ecstatic. One was living halfway on the other side of the country. We were on the East Coast. She was on the West Coast. So she came home, we were so happy. We drove our parents crazy because we'd be jumping up and down and yelling out of happiness. So absence makes the heart go fonder. So this separation that Krishna would, separation of say of Ram and Sita was not an indication of Ram's differences. It was actually heartbreaking because he was also feeling the agonizing pains of separation. And Sita was also feeling pains of separation. But that was intensifying their need. Same thing with Krishna and the residents we know. Krishna, when he go out with his power boys, his mother would feel a great separation. And when he go home and have dinner with his family, his friends would feel separation. So whether it's big separation of his going to Dwarka or even to momentary separation. Even the gopis are saying, our blinking our eyes was causing them great agony. It's like, what kind of creator is Brahma? He creates eyes with eyelids. So we close our eyelids for a millisecond. Don't see Krishna for a second. That completely seems like a So Mahaprabhu wanted to experience this. And so his whole later process, even Chaitanya, his whole later process, is Mahaprabhu experiences as a sadhana. So now, how we practice our sadhana, maybe not quite at that level. But we should appreciate it, because if this is our goal, if, as Prabhupada says, every morning we recite the 10 offenses to the book. Those who claim to be Vaishnavas should avoid these offenses to the Lord to achieve the desired success. Krishna Prem. So Krishna Prem is actually not just simply liberation. So many processes are out there. And I can name dozens of world religions, traditions that come from the Veda that will bring you to the point of liberation. Liberation isn't that special. Really. Well, it may not be so common we see in this world, but we're so conditioned. But there's something beyond liberation. And it is pure love of God. The gopis, they heard that Krishna had a headache. Right? Krishna told Narada, I have a headache and I need the dust of the feet of my devotees. So he went to Dwarka, to the beings, to all the servants, and said, Krishna has told me that he has a headache. He needs the dust of the feet of his devotees. So give me the dust from your feet. They said, we can't do that. That's an offense. If you give Krishna the dust from our feet, we'll go to hell. So okay. Krishna says, well, ask the same thing of residents of Vrindavan. Ask the same thing of the gopis. So Krishna goes to Vrindavan. And the gopis, sure thing, of course, here, take. Narada goes, you do understand what will become, what the consequence will be. It's just as we know, we'll go to hell, but that's fine. We're willing to suffer in hell eternally to relieve Krishna of this little headache. Because this is the selfless nature of the gopis. This is the nature of their love. They're so imbued with deep love for Krishna and such profound humility that they're willing to just serve him. That's okay. They're willing to just serve, to make this pleasure. So this is what is meant by prayer. This is the aspiration of the devotees. Anya Vilashita Shri Jnana Karma Anupurna Krishna Amish. That with no consideration of either material enjoyment or their personal liberation, either mixed with or covered by, impelled by, repeated by, none of these things matter. What we want is simply direct service to Krishna. That is both pleasing and very. So we have about 3, 4, 5 minutes. So I've spoken quite a bit. I know a lot. There's much more I can say. But I want to open the floor if anybody has questions, comments. There's a lot that's there. But does anybody have any questions, comments before?
And one flavor kind of like takes over the other. Like, it was very beautiful. But then you went back and you said like, even if it was Australia, it didn't mean that he didn't have a joy or a
And the main thing is to, this Ram Lila is in the 9th canto, which is right before the 10th canto. And Bhagavatam has a natural logic to it. It's not necessarily chronological, which is what we in the West are used to. But there's actually a logic and there's a theme to it. That it's really the 10th canto is the son of Bhagavatam. There are 10 subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam, and the 10th canto is the highest. But to get to that understanding, to really appreciate, we have to go through the first 9 cantos to really understand who Krishna is. Because so many people, they read Bhagavatam 10th canto and they think Krishna is some ordinary boy, and these are ordinary girls, and they're having some kind of romance, and they fight with each other like boys and girls will do. But we have to appreciate who Krishna is, who Srimati Radharani is. We cannot, and also we have to understand who Ramchandra, who Sita Devi is. Because sometimes people think, oh, why did Ram do this, that poor woman? We have to understand that Sita is Mula Prakriti. She is the supreme goddess. As Ram is, like I would never say, well, I identify with Ram. No, I mean, same. Ram is the supreme personality of God. I'm just a little jiva in a male body. What can I do? Sita also. She is the supreme goddess. She is the supreme Shakti. She is Ram's counterpart. Radha and Krishna, Lakshmi, Narayan. Exactly. So she made it very clear to Ravana with a single glance. I could incinerate the entire universe and just keep a little island of treatment. Right. And the quality of and I don't know if you've gone to Sri Lanka, except the quality of Ram's presence there. And that great altitude place, he said you can still experience it. He said, even I would see like monkeys in the street and they're doing meditation. Very powerful place because Ram remembered this. So thank you. I was able to inspire you in some way, but this is the goal. To appreciate who Ram is. Yes, he is upholding Dharma, but he's not bound. He's the supreme personality God. He's enacting Dharma for our benefit so that we learn by his example. If you follow somebody's example, the least of what they do is the highest of them. And people can misunderstand. So Ram, he's setting the example. He's setting the high bar, folks. He may not live up to the example because he's Bhagwan Shri Ram. But at least he sets a high example. That's what we aspire to. And reading Ramayana, reading these passages instills you with that sense. And actually, it's very pleasing. It's so sweet because there is a sweetness that's there. So, thank you very much for your kind comments. Do you have any questions? Okay. And if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. So, I'm always happy to clarify. If I hopefully. Thank you very much. I was planning on that one.
You can, if you just go ahead and do it. I'm happy to sing, but I think you should sing.
Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, His divine grace shall abide to the Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada ki. His divine grace shall Prabhupada ki. Jai Nikhil Bhavishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Pavidikachaya Ashksata Shishiman. His divine grace Shri Bhakti Santa Saraswami Thakur Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnavini ki. Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki. Prem Sikho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakti Vrinda ki. Shri Radha Krishna Gopikuma Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhana ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki. Shri Navi Dham ki. Gurusam Shivcha Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki. Yamuna Mai ki. Gangamai ki. Bhakti Devi ki. Srimati Tulsi Maharani ki. Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda ki. All glories to some devotees. All glories to some devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gurum. Shri Guru.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for coming to our Sunday feast. We'd like to welcome all the devotees who are coming for the first time to the Sunday feast, as well as those who have been coming here regularly. Thank you for coming. As you know, we have opened up this temple now for all Sunday and Saturday night kirtans, and also as usual for the darshans all day on all weekdays. So please do come during the weekdays, and as well as take advantage of the weekends of full day darshan, as well as the programs which we have on Saturday night kirtan, which we have been conducting very regularly for past 2 months. Please do come. The Saturday night kirtan is from 6 to 8:30 p.m. and then Sunday feast we as usual from 5 to 6 we have a talk, And from 6 to 6:30, we have a kirtan, as you just saw now. And after this, so it's basically you can stay here, meditate, or if you want to go, you can take a to-go prasadam. And then in the evening, late in the night, we'll have around 8:30. We'll have a kirtan with Shayanarti. So that's the last evening darshan from 8:30 to 8:45. So today's feast is being sponsored by Akila Sumati. Okay, Sumati. She's sponsoring because Akila Narayanan has graduated from US-based Basic Army, and Aditya Shekhar for joining the full-time job. So, of course, she's seeking the blessings to both of them. And we also take this opportunity to pray to their Lordship Shishi Radha Gopillava, Shishi Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani, and Shishi Gauri Nita for them for the blessings. But also our close the congregation member who has blessed with a child on Gaur Purnima Day. Okay, Isha Prabhu had a baby boy. Isha Prabhu had a baby boy on Gaur Purnima Day. So we would also like to offer our prayers to their Lordship Shishi Gaur Nitai, Shishi Radha Gopillava, and Shishi Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani. So please pray along with me for all these wonderful souls by chanting one Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So let us chant one Hare Krishna Mahamantra for all these devotees. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So those devotees who would like to be part of our community, so please let us know how we can serve you. If you're not sure, then please meet us so we can help you how you can be associated with us or how you can help us help this temple and the community. Right now we don't see, but a lot of the programs we have is online. So we have a large community who we meet online for various kinds of lectures, various kinds of programs online we have. So one of the programs which we used to have was the Saturday night kirtan. We used to have quite often, pretty much regularly every day at some point of time, especially in some months like Kartik month and Adhik Mas. In those months we used to have regularly, and then we moved to the to weekly ones, and now we have in person on Saturday night kirtan here. But apart from that, we also have regular meetups online on Zoom for various kinds of programs. So please do let us know if you want to be part of our community. For those who want to join us, then we have a WhatsApp groups. So please join us on WhatsApp groups. That's the best way to communicate with us, to know what's happening in and around our community, and also what's happening at our temple. Also, you can join our newsletter, which we send us pretty regularly, at least like for the main events like the big festivals and any other events at the temple. So that's another way by which you can get some updates. And you can also go to our website www.iskonboston.org to get the more updates about our temple events. So some of the services what we need is at the temple, like on Sundays or various other days where you can help us in serving the temple, either in the kitchen we have various kinds of services. Either you can go and help the cooks, or you can help washing the pots. On the festival days, we have some decorations, and we also have a pre-prep festivals, pre-prep services for the festivals. So you can join us for those services a day before. And also on the actual day of festivals, we also have so many other services. So you can be here and we can engage you in any other services. Apart from that, those who would like to help us, like we have some administrative services, or someone who has a technical skills, so we can engage you in a technical skills. Sky's the limit. We have so many tons of ideas, unimaginable ideas. Our scope, our intention, our ideas are humongous. They are huge. We want to expand, as big as possible. So please let us know how you can be part of our community. So thank you once again for joining us here, and let us know how we can serve you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanande. Hare Lord. For those who want to sponsor the fees, for the Sunday fees, it's at $201. So you can pay it online at iskonboston.org, or we have a small square box outside. You can pay it there, or you can give a check to us also. So, or even cash as well. And there are various other ways by which you can also donate for various other services for the Temple of Keeps, and also for daily regular services. Also, we have various kinds of donations. So please let us know if you are interested in helping us for our regular services. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hari Hari Bol. Okay. Now I think there is a prasadam to go, so you can take up, or whoever wants to go, you can take the prasadam. And now we have a small blessings which are being given by the pujari, so you can take those blessings. Thank you. Hare Krishna. We would like to thank our speaker who has come all the way, Broughton, Mass. Yeah, Broughton, Mass. He has come all the way from there, 1.5 hours to 2 hours to drive. Is there? So let's give a round of applause to our speaker. Shyamarup. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. What's that? Oh, okay. So these are okay. These are hot selling stuff. What we have is a Mangalati sweets. These are literally well known in entire North America. In fact, these sweets are known internationally. And trust me, if you take this once, you would get addicted and you would want to buy this every day. I'm not joking. I'm serious. It's $5 only. Okay, $5. Just take it. This Mataji has it for the sale. Two is already gone. Only one is left. Okay, that's also gone. Sorry. Maybe next week. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Biology major in US, second year, second semester. And further is,
You both will sit here, you will see the girls and the boys, right? My idea was, अगर आपकी chairs ऐसे होगी ना, मैं chairs के बीच में बैठ जाऊँ with my back in the audience, with my papers, process कुछ नहीं कर रही. So that is one option. The other option is the audience is sitting and I sit along with the audience and form from there. Do you have any particular idea which might be a good place for you to perform? So anyone in the youth can join me. Or you can think about it. Yeah, so I was thinking because if there's a U form, if I sit right between you guys, right? So you guys are facing the audience, my back is to the audience, I'm sitting on the ground, you guys are sitting on the chair. So I can whisper and I'll be closer to you guys. I can whisper. If I'm sitting in the audience, then I might have to say it a bit loud if he forgets or Misty forgets something. But I also think if I sit in between, will it look too odd if I sit there, right in between? But then I can whisper. Good is I can whisper, the bad is that it might look odd. If I'm in the audience and a part of the audience, it's not odd, but then I might have to scream it out, so it's a trade-off, basically. So do you have any particular opinions? So you can think about it also. Just think about it. We can decide next week and also ask the other kids. And if you have any other idea where I can be, sort of in a hidden, in a group position, but everyone, you guys can all hear me, then I can try to do that. Think about it. Okay? So read every day your line. Okay.
This is. Take it.
Who is there? Everybody got it? All done? All done? You're watching the view.
Well, let them take a picture from here. No, no, I know. Hare Krishna. Come now.